I just felt like saying a very quick word about TikTok because you've been hearing a lot about TikTok in the news lately. And I was watching this video that Forbes threw together, and I just wanted to basically comment on it. Well, first of all, one of the things you have to understand, all of these social media apps, regardless if it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it really doesn't matter what it is. All of these things are data mining operations. That's the first thing you have to understand. All of these companies are basically in a war between themselves in order to get access to your data. They want to be able to have access to whatever you do, whatever you like to do. They want to know exactly everything they can do to target you with apps. Facebook lost a large amount of money because Apple and Google put forth privacy settings to stop Facebook from being able to track your data. That's number one. So Facebook lost a lot of money from that. Now, App Store and Google Play are threatening Elon Musk, and they're talking about, well, if you don't stop racists from talking shit and having free speech and whatnot on Twitter and whatever, it's like we're going to cut you off, right? So, first of all, Facebook would love to see Twitter get hurt because they think it'll drive more people towards Facebook. Facebook bought Instagram for that very reason. Facebook, can you even imagine how many nude photos and dick pics that Facebook has somewhere in their servers? So the reality is, what they don't like about TikTok is the fact that it's not American. They don't like the fact that it's Chinese run. Now, one thing I got to say about having lived in China is China doesn't allow their people to be stupid. And I've made a video about this before. What China does is they cut the internet off at certain hours. They disallow video game playing on the internet at certain hours. They disallow effeminate men from television. They do all types of things that they feel are going to protect their people. They do all types of things, especially if it comes down to protecting their masculinity and their patriarchy. A lot of these other countries, they're not bullshitting and they're not going to play fucking games with America. They're just not going to do it. So America thinks that they can force their way into these other markets. Most of these markets will say, no, we don't need you. Goodbye. And that's just what you're seeing happening. There's a lot of divestment going on. A couple of states have banned TikTok altogether, or at least they've said they've banned it. But the reality is, because you're talking about internet and you're talking about an app on somebody's phone, you can ban it from certain workforces, but you're not getting it away from these kids unless you do an overall force ban. So guess what that means? That means that they're going to have to force Apple and they're going to have to force Google Play to disable TikTok. And I don't know if TikTok has a desktop app for computers. Maybe it does. But the reality is these kids are addicted to this shit. And the reason why they're addicted to it is because it's like a more sophisticated form of Vine videos where, Vine videos, you had like 6-second videos. Now with TikTok, basically you've got a bunch of strags making all of these videos about passport bros and talking shit. So it looks like all of them are going to end up losing their channels if that happens. If they ban TikTok, me personally, it won't make a difference to me because I really don't use TikTok, but I don't give a shit. However, in the grand scheme, what I totally understand is why they're doing it. They're doing it because Facebook got its ass kicked and lost the majority of its revenue. They lost the majority of their money. They used to have a lot of money. They lost a large amount of it. Twitter is going down the tubes too, and they're taking their threats. But what you always have to remember at the end of the day, these things are data mining operations. The American government is not allowed to aggregate data. They are not allowed to collect data on the citizen because it violates your privacy. So what they want is they want American social medias to be able to do this. If anything happens with you, if you do anything wrong, all they got to do is go to Facebook or Instagram or whatever it is, and they can pull the records from them because they themselves aren't allowed to do it. These are data mining operations. TikTok is no more or less a threat to you than Facebook or Twitter or Instagram is. But these things are there to mine your data, to collect your personal information, and every now and then leak it out. So that's the reality. So my thing is, first of all, you should be smart. Don't put too much of your information on this shit. Facebook gets nothing from me except fucking apps. They get what is it called? The app games. Maybe I'll play one of those every now and then. They get memes. They get a lot of memes from me. They get dank memes that have been used over and over. They don't get my personal data. The only thing they may get is my vacation photos after the fact, and I'm only posting those to flex. So when it comes to tagging myself and shit, I usually only will tag certain things long after it's over and long after there's nothing they can do about it. So that's just the reality. It's like, I knew, when they started that holding foreign countries accountable act bullshit, I knew they were coming after TikTok eventually. When I lived in China, when you watch their television is all like PBS. It's very highly intelligent. None of it is lascivious. There's no sexuality. There's no violence on their television. It's called CCTV. They do not allow their people to be stupid. They don't allow their people to watch mindless shit. They want their people productive. I wish I could say the same thing about America, but I can't. America is the one country that you can point to where they'll literally allow their children to walk into schools holding one of these phones that they couldn't even, the parents claiming they're broke and the parents claiming they're poor. And they're going into these schools, these middle schools, these high schools. They're going in there with these cell phones, $1,000 cell phones. Now, they claim that they can't afford pencils, pens, and books. They claim they need more money for public education. They're walking into school with a $1,000 cell phone, a new iPhone 14, a new iPhone 13, new iPhone 12. I don't really pay attention to Galaxy phones, but you get my point. So the thing about it is, they're going into these schools. I tell you what, prove me wrong. Get on a bus, get on a train, take a look at what the kids are doing. They got their head buried in this TikTok shit all day long. When they're at home, they're watching this shit all day long. Facebook doesn't mind the kids watching Facebook all day long. Facebook will never be held accountable for all of the kids that committed suicide behind being bullied on Facebook. The same goes for Instagram. The same might go for Twitter too. As long as they have the control, they could give a fuck. But when your kids go over to TikTok and your kids go over to some other platform and they're not making money off of yours, whatever your issue is, that's when now all of a sudden they start rallying Congress. That's now when all of a sudden this is a national security threat. They're literally trying to say that China's collecting data. Here's a question. If China followed your kid on the internet day and night for 10 years, here's a question. What the fuck could they do with that data? What could they really do with it? What are they going to do with it? Facebook doesn't have a problem with your kids being on Facebook, though. So you mean to tell me that all of a sudden TikTok is a national security threat, but Facebook isn't? You mean to tell me TikTok's a national security threat, but Instagram isn't? All the prostitution connected to Instagram. They're trying to say that TikTok should be banned. Oh, here we go. Nefarious Chinese Communist Party, right? Now, these are the people who vote for Democrats and they want to call somebody a communist. Look where we're going with this. So they're trying to say that the kids are being suckered into the TikTok app and that they're being force-fed like mature-rated content that they weren't supposed to see. So you mean to tell me that while you were on Facebook, logged in as a teenager, that you didn't see any mature content? Because I know that's bullshit. I know you did. Yo, it's really sad, but this is how they work. This is how the propaganda works. This is how the government works. This is how the media, the lamestream media, this is what they do. Now, here's the thing. I don't want to sound like I'm defending TikTok. I don't use TikTok. I personally think that TikTok is a massive distraction. I can say the same thing about Facebook, Instagram, and these other things that these kids are addicted to. However, I think that the free market should be allowed to work. These kids got on TikTok just like they got on Vine, just like they got on Facebook, and they left each one of these things in search of something new. Snapchat used to be the thing. And they used to have something else, and they used to have something else. But when those things get boring, all they do is they jump ship and they go to something else. But this right here is really about really two things. Number one, the American government wants social media to have access to all your data. They want to aggregate your data through social media apps. That's number one. Number two, Facebook, Twitter, and all of these other social medias are lobbying the government trying to get rid of TikTok. They don't want the free market. They want control of your data. They want control of all of your information. They want to watch your whereabouts. Facebook lost their location-based data services on the iPhone, and they made it so at Apple, they made it so that I can turn off their ability to track me, and that cost Facebook and Schmuckerberg cost them a lot of money. So me personally, I was praying and hoping a long time ago for something to come and kick Facebook's ass. I was hoping for it. I was hoping that something would come and do to Facebook what Facebook did to MySpace. I never imagined it would have been a Chinese app that did it, but sure enough, there it is. That's what happened. So just be wary of what's happening right now, and just be on the watch out, because these people are full of shit. They think everybody's stupid. They think people don't pay attention, but I'm watching y'all like a hawk.